One of them, is it too soon for Morrell?
I think they've both been like super middleweight, haven't they? And then stepped up.
It could be a hell of a fight, this, you know.
Benavidez normally wins because he's got that really high punch output.
I don't like Benavidez.
Well, ring ranking, he's number 3 and Morrell is number 8. Well,
yeah, I don't know whether Morrell's got the power yet.
Benavidez should win.
I'm not picking Benavidez. No, because I think Morrell on points.
60% Benavidez KO. Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the upcoming fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell. That's taking place on February the 1st, 2025 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The tail of the tape, it's at light heavyweight. And Benavidez is 29 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Of his 29 fights, he's won 24 by KO. He's aged 28. He's 6'1", which is 185 centimeters. He's got a 76-inch reach, which is 193 centimeters. And he fights out of an orthodox stance. David Morrell has 11 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. 9 of his 11 fights, he's won by KO. He's a little bit younger at age 26. The same height, 6'1", 185 centimeters. Reaches longer, 78.3 inches, 199 centimeters, which sounds like it's a bit too long, so I'll just double check. Yes, I think that might be right. Weight for this is 175 pounds, 79.4 kilograms, which is the light heavyweight limit. And he fights out of southpaw stance. Both fighters unbeaten. So... yeah, what do you think about this one, Simon?
Interesting fight.
So obviously there's the kings of this division, Beterbiev and Bivol, are rematching in February. And I think the winner of this is supposed to be fighting the winner of that, or in line to contest for that. So... I think a lot of people have Benavidez as the sort of third ranked now in that division. And Morrell's sort of the up and coming, I think he disappointed, but then he's fought Kladzic in his last fight, which we did do on one of our videos.
And he was quite disappointed. He's had 11 fights.
Yeah. I didn't say we were disappointed. I've heard some where they were sort of ruling him out, but then his fight against Kladzic, who's a tough nut.
Did he win?
Yeah. He's I think he's put him back into that conversation. So yeah, interesting fight. 2 unbeaten light heavyweights. What do you think?
One of them, is it too soon for Morrell? That's the big question for me. Is it too soon?
Well, both of them were, I think they've both been like super middleweight, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then stepped up. So his step up was against Kladzic, which I think was an improvement for his fight. His last fight is super middleweight.
Both explosive.
Yeah.
Both got fast hands. It could be a hell of a fight, this, you know.
Yeah.
Really, really
and
cool.
They seem to be ramping it up in the pre-fight. They end a bit personal with that.
They don't like each other.
Yeah.
Dave Morrell, fantastic amateur.
Yeah.
He had like 130 wins as an amateur, only 5 defeats. Benavidez. I don't like Benavidez.
Let's apologise to our Mexican fans.
No, I don't like him. I hope he gets beat. He's a good boxer, but...
But to be honest, in this, I've got a sneaky feeling for Morrell. Because I think it's not... Like, Benavidez normally wins because he's got that really high punch output. Because he just...
Morrell will match him for that.
But yeah, and like, it's the work rate in that, but I think Morrell is savvy enough
I don't think Morrell...
Because he's got quite a good defence as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether Morrell's got the power yet.
Yeah, that would be, at this weight, is whether he's got the power. Because if he's got the power, I would be on Morrell's side. Because you can see when...
Benavidez has got the power.
Yeah,
he
Benavidez has got the power.
But they are both explosive, like I say.
Well, like I said, the only thing is, because obviously they're stepping up, but at super middleweight, yeah, he's got a lot of wins by, what we said, 9 of his 11 by KO, and Benavidez is 24.
But if you look at his wins, it's referee stepping in because he's throwing lots and lots of punches. They're not like concussive knockout one punch power. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's a very interesting fight.
Well, most of what's his name, isn't it? It's sort of Benavidez is that as well, though, isn't it? It's the build-up of power. Morrell is a bit more, has a bit of both, isn't it?
Fair dues for both men for taking the fight because it's a difficult fight for both of them.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's a good fight for the division, on the...
Because both of them have only had one fight stepping up, and then they both took tough fights because Benavidez stepped up with Gvozdyk. All right, Gvozdyk being out, but you could see as the fight went on and Gvozdyk came back to, you could see there was something there, and Gvozdyk was one of the best light heavyweights, although now rather aged. And Kaladzic is a really, really good fighter as well. 29 and I think one record, wasn't it, at the time he's fought him. And Gvozdyk his only loss was against Beterbiev, so that's the level of opponent they've taken as the first fight. Although both of them, obviously Kaladzic and Gvozdyk, getting, are on the later part of their career, shall we say. But still tough opponents to step up with. So they're both good fighters.
I mean, there's a lot of hype around David Benavidez. There always has been. We've been calling out Canelo for how long.
That was the fight that everybody wants, but it's not happened.
Like say, I think it's going to be a really good fight. This, I think it's going to go to and fro-ing. I think the rounds are going to be really, really close. It's a tough one to call.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people will pick David Benavidez, but
well, ring ranking, he's number 3 and Morrell is number 8. But again, that's probably based on Benavidez is 29 fights, Morrell is 11.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't really compare. Let's see the WBO. He's not even on there. Neither on there. They're not on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Benavidez should win it.
I think Benavidez, based on experience, if we assume the similar level of skill, Benavidez's experience should be more than Morrell's. But Morrell, like you said, has had a lot of amateur experience. He's got the Cuban boxing skill is, yeah. And as they're unbeaten, you don't know where the weaknesses, the chins are like and things. And Benavidez can take a bit of a punch as well, innit?
Yeah.
Although even, and to be fair, Morrell looked, when I've seen him at super middleweight, he looked better. Well, the 1 or 2 fights I've seen at super middleweight, he looked better at light heavyweight. Kaladzic is a good boxer. He's ranked in most of the things quite, fairly high up. So, yeah, how do we break this down? How do we see it going? Is it Benavidez doing what Benavidez does, which is the higher putting things, then it's how Morrell copes with that?
Yeah, whether Morrell will match him, try and box on the outside, although he does like to get on the inside. They've both got a good variation of punches. Morrell likes to throw an uppercut, switches from head to body really well, so does Benavidez. I think Morrell's a little bit more slicker.
Yeah.
Benavidez always seems very upright to me.
Yeah. Which I think he gets away with because the amount of punches he throws.
Yeah.
But like you've seen when they fought Gvozdyk, there was getting, as he's like, because he's basically gone fast to get him out of there, and as Gvozdyk survived, then he's seen Gvozdyk start to catch him with, Gvozdyk's a really good boxer.
Yeah.
So it's catching him with those, and I can see Morrell doing a similar thing. I mean, Gvozdyk's got a really good chin. He's only been Beterbiev is just Beterbiev. It's ridiculous. So if you take him out, he's called a nail. He's rock hard. So he's, it's whether Morrell has that. And if he does, then I can see an upset. I think I'm going to go for Morrell in this one, just for get some Cuban fans.
I'm going for Morrell.
Are you going for Morrell? We're going to go for different ones.
I'm not picking Benavidez.
Okay, I'll pick Benavidez, then go home.
No,
I want to pick Morrell, though.
I don't think... no, because I think Morrell on points.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going to start.
For some reason,
I think the first 3 or 4, Benavidez is going to be on it.
Yeah, I just think
and
Morrell
then
on
I
points.
think Morrell is going to work him out and then just box him for the next. I think it's been close, but I think I can see
but now you've said you're going to pick Morrell on points. Basically means Benavidez will knock him out in the second round.
Yeah, probably. I think about 7-5 to Morrell on points.
I think wider.
Well, it could be wider. I think it just depends how long it takes to work them out.
Because you can't score fights, as we've established, so...
The AI agrees with me. The most neutral point scoring thing.
We already know that you definitely 100% cannot score fights.
That's correct.
So you're going for 7-5.
Well, no.
Morrell. No, you've already said it.
Morrell on points. At least 7-5. We can edit it out. No, I'll go and I'll stick with that. Morrell on points.
Here's my prediction. You're going to love this one. One judge. 116, 112.
Okay. For?
Benavidez.
Okay.
Second judge. 117, 113. Morrell.
Mm-hmm.
Third judge.
Draw.
114, 114.
So rematch?
Rematch. Massive controversy. How can you have one fighter winning by this many rounds? Blah, 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 blah. It'll all go off.
To be honest, I could see that as well.
Yeah. No, I've just got a sneaky suspicion Morrell on points. He shouldn't. Like say, I think
Benavidez should win.
If you were putting hard-earned cash on it, you go with the bookies and I think go Benavidez knockout. But
Let
there's
me just
some...
get up to see if I got the...
He's 8-13 on Benavidez.
Yeah, 80% on
There's just something about Morrell that I like.
60% Benavidez KO. 20%, just 21% decision. And then there's only 21% who voted for Morrell. Have you got that? Let me see.
I just think Morrell's a little bit special. Cuban, awkward. I've just got a feeling that he's going to do something. But we shall see.
Well, it's not that wide. minus 180 and plus 130. So it's on the betting, it's relatively close. Yeah, obviously Benavidez is going to be favourite. If you just used it on what they've done, I think Benavidez is the favourite. I just have a sneaky suspicion for Morrell.
Yeah.
Or like what you've said, it's going to be controversial scorecards.
Yeah, we'll see. It's in Vegas. Anything can happen.
And then how do you think either of them fare against the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol?
They're not there yet.
Yeah.
Nowhere near.
I can't see either of them beating them.
No, it's not that they can't beat them. They can beat them, but they're just not ready yet.
Yeah.
They need to be fighting the winner, Callum Smith-Bawatsi and Anthony Yard.
I think to consolidate that light heavyweight and then take that on. Then take one of them on, isn't it?
Thing is, and I made a prediction on the light heavyweight division last night. In 3 years, there's going to be a new ruler at the light heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm. And
it's Hamza Shiraz.
Who's super middleweight at the moment?
He's middleweight.
Oh, he's middleweight.
Yeah, but look at the size of him. He's about 6'4", isn't he?
6'3", 6'4", yeah, somewhere around there.
I think he'll move through the divisions quickly and be light heavyweight king. But Bivol, Beterbiev, they take care of all of these in this division.
At this moment in time, I think either of them take care. I think they're level above.
None of them are ready yet.
Yeah.
So
And the ones that were here have been beaten by him both.
Yeah.
So there's not much left in it. Okie dokie. So, yeah. So what's mine? Mine is points to Morrell.
Yeah.
And yours is a draw.
Might change.
With dodgy scorecard.
Yeah. Obviously a dodgy scorecard. All scorecards are dodgy.
So 1-1-1. 1-1. What would happen if that was the exact scoring?
I'd be investigated.
Yeah. We have to look into it. We'll ask ChatGPT how that happened if this is the case, or Siri or whatever, live on it. How did the scorecard be exactly correct? Okay. Yeah. On the undercard, there is a rematch between Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. Okay. Yeah, I've got the tail of the tape as well. They fought before at super bantamweight, so 122 pounds, where Fulton won on points, 112, 116, 112, 116, and 114, 114. Not that far from your scorecard. Which I think, if I'm correct, was the unification fight, WBC, WBO at super bantamweight. And then Stephen Fulton's gone on to fight Inoue, and Inoue won. And Figueroa has, let me just see where his fights. I think Figueroa's basically stepped up then to, after the Fulton fight, to featherweight, and then fought through a few of those. And this fight, and then I think he's done the WBC interim world feather fight. And this is going to be, I think, for the WBC world featherweight title, if I am correct. So, yeah, so one of them will get back to that. So it's a rematch on there. Tail of the tape. Figueroa is 25 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. So of his 27 fights in total, 19 of his wins by KO. He's age 28. He's 5 foot 8 inches, 173. I think he's actually taller than that. He's 5 foot 9, 175 tall. And he's got a 72.5 inch reach, 184 centimeters. This is at 126 pounds, which is 57.2 kilos, which is the featherweight limit. And he fights out of an orthodox stance. Stephen Fulton has got 22 wins or 1 loss, 0 draws. He's had 23 fights in total. 8 wins by KO. He's age 30. His height is 5 foot 6.5, which is 169 centimeters. And he's got a 70.5 inch reach, which is 179 centimeters. And same weight, and he's fights out of an orthodox stance. So this is the undercard of the Benavidez fight. So rematch. What do you think? Do you think the size will make a difference? It was a close fight, but I think Fulton outboxed him. Figueroa has those long windmill punches that come from nowhere.
Figueroa was going to win this fight.
Yeah, I think Figueroa will beat him as well. I think super bantamweight was a little bit too low a weight for him because of his frame. I think he's better at featherweight.
Yeah, it's going to be a close fight, but I just think.
Do you think Fulton's still got anything in him? Because his last fight was disappointing.
No.
You
bigged Fulton up to me.
Yeah, because I watched all the videos and the hype.
No, you bigged him up
you were
to
like,
me.
Is this it?
And then he was just a letdown. Every fight I've seen him in, I've just been like, what were you... This is why I don't trust you anymore. I can't trust your opinion in boxing.
The fight at Cedar...
Who do you think's going to win?
Figueroa.
Well, then Fulton's going to win.
Well, to be fair, the first time they fought, I thought Figueroa was going to beat him as well. I've seen that fight, and it was quite close. Then I've seen him against Daniel Roman, who was the other guy who was quite good in there. And Fulton can box. He's, that was the hype around him. Because he basically beat Daniel Roman, who was one of the ones rated at that weight. Basically clean sweep, 120, 108, 120, 108, and 119, 109. I know, right, Figueroa was closer, but Figueroa is dangerous because most wins by KO. And then we seen him against Inoue, and he just looked very, very, very ordinary.
Scared.
Yeah.
But even in Fulton's last fight, he was disappointing.
Yeah. Well, that's the worst one because that wasn't that level of opponent. Right? It's his first fight stepping up, but it was like really close. Fulton was actually down in round 5, and it was 95-94, 96-93, and 95-94.
I think
it's a split decision.
I think Figueroa has learned from his defeat to Fulton. Maybe it's one of them where it's
I
done him the world of good.
I think Figueroa's got better, and I think Fulton's still in shock he's still in denial from the Inoue loss.
It's not that he's in denial. Maybe he just
have you heard
good.
What they say, him and his coaching camps? It's like they just ignore him instead of learning from it and going, "Yeah, right, we were up against greatness, and he did this." It was more like they're making excuses that he wasn't ready when.
Well, then he's never going to be ready.
And that's why I think Figueroa has the upper hand in this one.
You can't look at. I'm not even going to talk about the Fulton Inoue fight because it means nothing now. I think Figueroa, like I say, he learned from the Fulton loss. He's
won every fight since then.
Yeah, he stepped up in weight, realised that maybe he was getting weight trained. Looks a lot better at this weight. His body looks a lot better at this weight.
Well, I always thought he was featherweight is better for him than super bantamweight. I think that was too low.
And I think he's gonna. I think he'll start fast as well. I think he's got to start fast against Fulton.
I think he's going to be fast and aggressive.
Fulton, from time to time, when he showcases his skills, he's a really good boxer. I'll give him some credit. But
I was right. It's
very rare you see it.
Well, in fights before he has been. I think it's in a way he's got the shock. Is like
but in fights before,
in his last fight he was rubbish.
Yeah, I just no.
But I think it's like what you said.
It's the step up in level.
Yeah, he was not Inoue's level.
Yeah.
It's not just him. There's a lot of Fulton supporters who are still in denial of that. The fact they can't take the fact that Inoue is just levels above.
I think Figueroa will stop Fulton this time.
I can see that as well. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. I think Figueroa wants to stop him.
Yeah.
I don't think Figueroa...
Well, I think Figueroa's after getting a fight against Inoue, because obviously that's the biggest payday in the whatever.
He doesn't even need a fight against him. If he becomes champion, there's plenty of fight at featherweight.
Yeah, there's plenty of featherweight, but I think they're all expecting Inoue to move up.
Don't be so quick to judge that Inoue's going to want to move up, because
I don't think he is. No, I'm saying what they're thinking because they've called him out, and if Figueroa's called him out.
Forget about Inoue. Yeah, you might get a big payday, but there's plenty of fights at featherweight. Got to take care of Fulton first.
Fulton,
you just can't see past Fulton's last two performances, can you really? Which have been.
It's not. I'll tell you my thinking, isn't it? I'm not judging him on losing to Inoue because. Like we said in our predictions, when we did a watch long and a thing of that fight, didn't we? The Inoue is just a different level to any of these, so it's different. He was disappointing considering how good a boxer he's supposed to be from what you've seen the hype and what you've seen in fights before. But I think Inoue is just like he's just on his own class. There's nobody there that good. So you would have expected Fulton to bounce back, but the problem is I've heard his interviews and his teams is like teams interviews, and they just make excuses. And I don't, on a personal level, outside of even boxing, I don't like people who just make excuses. Just admit you lost to the way better guy, learn from it, and then move on. And I think where you're right is that Figueroa has learned from it and he's got better. And I think Fulton's still stuck in that cycle, and I think that's what he was stuck in the last one. There's either a mental block or something else. And I don't think his camp are telling him, his team are telling them the right thing as well. Now, whether that's just for show on highlights or not, I think it's not us stuck on it. It's him stuck on those performances. And
so you're going for a Fulton win then?
Yeah, obviously. No, I think if it was old Fulton, yeah, then it's a very, very interesting fight because you could see him outboxing Figueroa, but I think he hasn't sort of satisfied me at this weight. He's only had the one fight. He was very disappointing. And if you look at Figueroa's performances, they're far, far better at this weight. And I think Figueroa is more on point from what I've seen of his interviews and stuff and things. And Fulton still seems to be stuck. So I'm going with Figueroa.
Give me a prediction.
Figueroa KO round 8.
I'd wrote my prediction down before you'd even said anything.
So what did you have?
I had round 9.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll get to up there, but I think he's got more power here, and he's more into the frame, the size of this weight. Fulton still has to show, that he can do something. If it's old Fulton and he gets back to being, gets rid of the excuses and gets back to being it, it's very interesting then.
Do you know who Fulton reminds me of?
Who?
Adrian Broner.
He does actually look like...
Yeah, but he also got all the talent, but never quite reached the potential that he should have done.
What did Broner do? Do you think for making excuses or for the thing? Well, Fulton was a unified champion, so...
He's just got the age. I'm going to call it the Adrian Broner effect about him.
Well, we'll find out. I think if he gets KO'd here, then or beaten here, then I think you're right. And it'd be a bit disappointing because it would make it interesting in this. If he is, it could be a really, really good fight if they're both top of the game. I just think Figueroa is top of his game. I think Fulton's still not back to being the real Stephen Fulton. I think he's still a bit lost from his loss because he hasn't come to terms with it.
Do you know what I haven't come to terms with? Why all you people watching haven't subscribed yet?
Yeah, it's a good point. Because I think 80-90% of the people watching aren't subscribed. So we need to get more subscribers. Subscribe. Stephen Fulton fans, let us know what you think. Do you think that's true?
Come on,
do you
there's got to be some good Stephen Fulton fans out there. I'm not going to give this guy a chance. So come on, tell me why
we should give him a chance.
He's going to win.
Because
let's have it.
Because from what we've seen, he's been I don't think he's come to terms with in-away loss. His Castro fight was awful.
It's all him saying this, not me, by the way. So pick on him this time.
Yeah, you can pick on me. I don't really care. Well, no, I'm asking the question. So that's the evidence. We're not making that up. In a way, we've done. That's one of our first videos. We did it, and it was like, all right, we picked In a Way then, but we've been fans of In a Way for, I think, but we weren't wrong again. It was correct predictions that he was going to win. And then his comeback fight, and he's taken more than a year for a comeback fight. It's a split decision against, Castro's not bad, but he's not huge, the top level in that, considering Fulton was a unified champion lower. So what do you think are going to happen here? Give us reasons why, then, we'd be happy to listen. Why you think Fulton will beat Figueroa.
But he's not going to, so.
Yeah. And Figueroa fans, give us your opinion on what you think. We're on your side of this in our thinking. I just think he's been better.
Yeah,
I think it's his more natural weight, and he's better. He's coped with it. I don't think the losses put him off his course. Whereas I think Fulton just hasn't come to terms with losing to Inoue, and it's upset his rhythm and game. And that's how I see it. So I think I'm with you, Figueroa KO.
Like it, love it. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, I look forward to the fights. Both of them are interesting fights. Isaac Cruz is on here as well, but I think it's more...
Don't say it.
A potential banana skid, should I say?
Better.
Better.
Because won upset of the year at the Ring Magazine Awards?
No, go on.
Sriracha.
Yeah. Well, that's what we said as well in the Saracens. It was a punch out of nowhere, and he's had 4 KO wins.
Upset of the year by the Ring. Boom. Love it.
Yeah.
No more. And I think there's going to be upsets this year. But
well, it makes it interesting. I think we've said for Morrell, isn't it? That's a really realistically an upset, isn't it? So
yeah, I'm looking forward to this contest. Be good.
Yeah, and there's some other good fights on it, but I think both of them are worth the reason for watching as well. And Isaac Cruz is on the undercard fighting Angel Fierro. And there's Ramos, Rosario, Coelho, and Olivo, and Hernandez and Ruiz. So there's quite a lot of interesting fighters. Coelho's in the featherweight and fairly well. Argentinian fighters fairly well rated. So yeah, I think interesting card. Interesting fighter. Interesting things. I thought you'd be on Benavidez. That's why I was picking Morrell. But
like I say, there's something about Morrell. I don't know what it is. Haven't quite.
Well, he's got a bit of that Cuban magic, so you can see there's something there. It might be a bit too early for him here.
That's my only
concern.
worry. But
And Benavidez is really experienced. Is really good.
And as much as I don't like Benavidez, he is a good boxer.
I mean, I don't mind him. I don't like or dislike him. He is a good boxer, and I respect all good boxers. Yeah. And realistically, you would expect him to win, but I just have.
He's got to win.
Yeah, he's got to win really to carry on his thing. I think Morrell's still got time, but I think Morrell's just got that. There's something there that will get him through.
We shall see.
We shall see. It's an interesting fight, worth watching. So yeah, Benavidez and Morrell fans, let us know. Figueroa and Fulton fans, let us know what you think. And as Simon said, subscribe. It helps us keep making this channel.
Make me happy.
We can make more content, the more subscribers, more likes and things, more feedback we get. And we like to hear your comments anyway. We like to know what you think. What are we? Are we chatting rubbish, or we made some sense, or whatever.
And check back on your comments, because I do reply to a lot of them as well.
We do try and get some.
Not abuse either.
No, it's constructive, but you can comment whatever you like. We don't mind. We look forward to the event. This should be a great year of boxing. They seem to be getting better, and Riyadh seasons have helped a lot with that. And I think it's made every other promoter up the game as well. So the undercards are getting better. The main fights are getting made. And there's a lot of exciting divisions. I think featherweight is one as well. Light heavyweight can be once our two monsters get out the way. There's some there. And we shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.